It was 1 a.m., and the smell of sizzling steaks drifted through the air as my brother and two of our old Marine buddies manned the grill outside the cabin. We were winding down after a long day, laughing about old deployments and arguing over whether rare or medium rare was superior, when a loud crash shook the front door. "Kicked the door!" my brother shouted, spinning around. Batons slammed against the wood again, and through the peephole, I saw the unmistakable uniform of what looked like HOA enforcement officers. Fake badges, cheap vests, and a lot of overconfidence. "They can't do this," I hissed. "Nobody's supposed to enter without permission." But the door was starting to splinter under repeated kicks. I glanced at my brother and our friends, all ex-Marines, all trained in combat, and all looking at me with the same thought. Time to teach these wannabe enforcers a lesson. I threw open the door, letting the night air rush in. "State your authority," I demanded, holding my phone in one hand to record everything. The leader of the group barked something about HOA rules and fines, clearly thinking intimidation would work. They took one step forward, then stopped cold. In the next 8 seconds, chaos and precision collided. My brother, a retired drill sergeant, used a single martial arts sweep to disarm the first man. The second Marine grabbed the second intruder, spinning him into the grass while the third neutralized the leader with a perfectly timed arm lock. Batons clattered to the ground. The fake HOA cops were all on their backs, staring up at the night sky in disbelief. By the time the last kick had echoed against the cabin, they were all immobilized, groaning and completely overwhelmed. I cuffed them with temporary restraints we'd thankfully kept from old duty gear, and my phone continued recording the entire incident. "Next time," I said calmly, "maybe try knocking first, or better yet, don't come at 3 in the morning thinking you're the law." The fake HOA cops were arrested minutes later. Local authorities couldn't stop laughing when I showed them the footage. "Who trained you guys?" one officer asked, shaking his head. "This isn't a drill. They're HOA wannabes." The news spread quickly through the neighborhood. The so-called enforcers were publicly exposed, their HOA licenses revoked, and their reputations in tatters. Meanwhile, we returned to the grill, flipping the steaks like nothing had happened, only now with a much larger audience of impressed neighbors watching from their windows. By sunrise, the cabin was calm again. The only sounds were birds, the faint sizzle of leftover embers, and the distant laughter of people who had finally realized. Some rules are enforced by paperwork, some by law, and sometimes, some by Marines at a grill who won't let anyone intimidate their home. Karen, of course, called repeatedly to complain. The local authorities had already instructed her to stay away. The HOA powers she thought she wielded meant nothing against 3 trained Marines who knew how to protect property and people fast. And me? I poured the last of the beer, raising my bottle in a quiet salute to the team. 8 seconds was all it took to turn a near disaster into a lesson Karen and her fake cops would never forget.